Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you all here, and you're more than welcome. So, Europe wants to beat cancer. Let's do better together. We're live here in the European Parliament in Brussels and broadcasting, as you can see, on YouTube to viewers all over the world. Let's welcome everybody watching to the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. I'm Mike Morrissey, and I'm here in Brussels with an invited audience of the great and the good of the European Cancer Community, representatives of our 42 member societies, our patient advisory committee, our focus topic networks, our young cancer professionals group. They're all here, and it's all thanks to Tomislav Sokol, MEP, that's hosting us for this event. Tomislav, thank you very much. We'll be hearing from Tomislav very soon, and we also have many other people. It's like a who's who of the cancer world here. We've got Walter Ricciardi, the chair of the EU Cancer Mission Board. We've got Marina Zanki, the director of the EU Health Funding Agency, HADEA. We've got Christina Nicolescu from the European Investment Bank. You're all very welcome to this event, and we'll be catching up with a bunch of other people, and you know who you are, a bit later in this event. Now, one very special person actually, who can't be with us today is Commissioner Stella Kyriakides, who sadly had an unavoidable clash at the last minute, and I know is super disappointed about not being with us here today. Having said that, we're very grateful to Vice President Skinas for stepping in for Stella, and we'll be hearing from Margaritis very soon. But we don't want to miss this very special opportunity that we were going to take with Stella in the room, because I know many people from the European Cancer Community who are here feel very strongly that the contribution and the role that Stella Kyriakides has made to beating cancer in Europe has been incredible, not only in her time the last few years as EU Health Commissioner, but for many years when she was a leader in our community, a patient advocate, a cancer survivor. Now, I don't know whether Stella's watching live or whether she's going to catch up afterwards, but as one community, as one European cancer community, let's give this show of support and thanks to our friend and colleague, Commissioner Stella Kyriakides. So now it's time to hear from the person whose brainchild it was to create the European Cancer Community Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the European Cancer Organization, the creator and founder and chair of the European Cancer Community Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, Andreas Haralambous.
Thank you, Mike, and this is a very warm welcome to friends and colleagues for joining us tonight to what we consider to be as one of the milestones for the cancer community across Europe. This is the official launch of our foundation, a foundation which has the perspective to make a real difference in cancer across Europe. It is a foundation which we envision to make a difference and fund efforts, large as well as small. It is a foundation which was dismissed once as being a dream, a far-fetched opportunity. But tonight, it becomes reality thanks to the consistent efforts of many selfless volunteers, many of which are sitting together with us in the room. To all of you, I want to say a profound thank you. Thank you for everything that you have done and will do in the near future. Together, we have created a valuable new source in order to better manage and control every relentless disease. This is a means that has the power to empower societies, consortiums, as well as sole people to pursue innovative approaches when it comes to cancer care. Let's face it, we are fighting a formidable enemy here. And it is very easy to forget the scale of the problem we're dealing with. Every year, about 4 million European citizens are being diagnosed by cancer, and about 2 million lose their lives to cancer. So it is incumbent on each and every one of us to think differently. We need to do more, and we need to do more in a better way. What we are unveiling tonight is not just another foundation. It is one that touches the very heart of the cancer community across Europe, because it's echoing the need for better funding, more funding of efforts to tackle cancer across Europe. And this needs to be done efficiently, effectively, but most importantly, promptly, as these needs emerge. And let's not forget that we are addressing the essential needs of mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters. People are suffering profoundly. People are being deprived of what resembles to a normality. People don't even have the opportunity to have a quality of life. So by any measure, this is simply unacceptable to the cancer community and to our foundation. The European Cancer Community Foundation makes a promise that it will put these issues to the spotlight, and we will invest any resource in our disposal to address these issues effectively. Our foundation is not based on a classic business-like model. We simply don't want that. What we want is our donors to become an integral part of the foundation. We want them to share our vision about helping create a better life for those touched by cancer, meaning not just patients. And this can be achieved through novel solutions and intelligent implementation strategies. To just give you a few examples in the ways that the foundations we believe can make a difference is by innovations as well as enhancing efforts to implement, for example, the new cancer plan in Romania, to facilitate gender-free HPV vaccination in Croatia and Hungary, also to help marginalized population as a result of their disease to have better access to quality cancer care. The foundation can also help to expand interdisciplinary education across Europe, contributing to a better, resilient healthcare system across Europe. We have so much to do and many ways to do it. And with the generous support of current and future donors, we can make it happen. So there is no limit to what we can achieve. We just need the tools to make it happen. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to watch a video a little bit more about the foundation. You see that guy in the corner there named Eric in our team. This is the moment he's really excited about, because can he manage to play a video properly in the European Parliament? What do we think? We're all keeping our fingers crossed for Eric. Off you go, mate. Let's play this video.
Cancer care is improving dramatically on so many different levels, on so many different aspects of medical care and social care, for cancer patients and cancer survivors. Dedicated organizations and innovative projects are driving change all across Europe, but many of the smaller inspired efforts struggle for funding. We can help. The European Cancer Community Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to supporting exceptional projects making a real difference. We believe that everyone deserves access to high-quality cancer care, and we're committed to breaking down barriers that prevent that.
What is different about this foundation is that it transcends national borders and medical boundaries.
It can provide grants to all type of organizations and across Europe and across all the cancer types.
The European Cancer Community Foundation is all about saving lives and certainly improving lives of everyone touched by cancer.
Creative projects make a real difference in cancer care. The foundation can help many of them survive and thrive.
It can also finance and commission new ones to meet unmet needs.
No other foundation has such deep roots in the European cancer community. There is so much potential here.
The European Cancer Community Foundation is the latest step on the path to better cancer care. Join us on this journey.
Well, that video gives you another perspective of our new foundation and how many things we can do together. As mentioned earlier, this foundation could not have happened without the support and encouragement of the European cancer community. Indeed, everything that we do requires an active participation of our member societies, patient groups, and focused topic networks. The European Cancer Organization is indeed blessed to have so much generous input from so many sources. The cancer community has been privileged as it has witnessed the launch and ongoing implementation of the EU Cancer Plan, one of the biggest policy reforms ever to be launched by the Commission. A legacy, if I may say so, for the present and the future of Europe. Within the context of the plan, we have been working in close collaboration with the Commission in implementing the plan. And throughout this journey, we have witnessed the support across all directorates. And we envision this support will be extended to include the work of our foundation. I am confident that the presence of Vice President Skinas is a clear message of that. So please give a warm applause to Vice President Skinas for his speech in relation to our foundation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's always nice to get an applause even before opening one mouth. Dear Tomislav, Mike, Agapite Andrea, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, friends, sponsors, welcome to this important launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. Let me start on a more personal note. I think that when the story, the legacy of this Commission in the current political cycle will be assessed, there will be no doubt that the health chapter of this Commission would be one of the most prominent, one of the most central, one of the most visible achievements of the current Commission. Together with Stella and under the leadership and continuous help and support of Ursula, we have managed to produce a small European miracle in health policy, the story of which has not yet been sufficiently told and explained. It is not only the pandemic response. It was not only the fact that we have exhausted every centimeter or inch of EU competence to make sure that we have the tools to cope with this sneaky virus that hit us, organize the biggest ever vaccination program in the history of mankind, organize unprecedented crisis management responses. But also next to it, we have built something that at the time was an objective, now is emerging as a tangible reality, a true, a genuine EU health union, a European health union, an alignment of new planets that enrich the European capacity to cope with health threats and diseases. And I have been, it is known in European politics for over 30 years now, but I have never seen such a deep and intensive policy response on health policy as was the case in the last 3 years and a half. And of course, at the heart of this effort was the symbolic but yet very substantial Europe Beating Cancer Plan, which is exactly built on this same principle of collaboration, working together as Europeans. A plan that was a holistic, comprehensive, very meaningful set of measures, policies, instruments to tackle cancer from prevention to early detection, treatment, to quality of life. And what we're doing today, the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation, is yet another step in this effort. Our priority is to strengthen partnerships, build links across borders and between policy areas, and support stakeholders. In these past 3.5 years, the cancer plan, which we presented few days before the pandemic hit us in February 2020, has gone from being just a blueprint for action to a set of concrete, tangible initiatives with significant, unprecedented EU investment. You all know the new Council recommendation on cancer screening, which was an important milestone for early detection, and I want to thank all of you for your support for this ambitious proposal. We are also determined to improve the quality of cancer care for everyone, and work has already started to establish the first EU network of comprehensive cancer centers by 2025, yet another ambitious and meaningful step. Our work also continues on the Code of Conduct on fair access to financial services for survivors, a well-known issue, but one that has not been tackled so far. By adopting this code next year, we hope to be able to ensure that the right to be forgotten is a fundamental right for survivors recognized across the European Union. And later this year, we will present a prevention package, including new recommendations on smoke-free environments and on vaccine-preventable cancers. Dear friends, the cancer plan is a European plan and is a universal plan in the sense that we have never seen it as part of a sectoral, policy-centered approach. This is a whole of society, whole of policy approach. It touches everything and everyone. That is why it is supported by unprecedented funding envelopes of a total of 4 billion euros. This includes, of course, funding from our new EU for Health program, another novelty in the European Health Union, which is itself the first ever, the largest ever EU investment in health, with a total budget of 5.3 billion and over 1.2 billion specifically earmarked for cancer. Just to appreciate the importance of this new instrument, the EU for Health, I would like to refresh your memory and remind you that the previous health program, the one we found upon arrival, had a budget of merely 20 million euros. So we jumped from 20 million to 5.4 billion. And this is also the moment to thank our colleagues here in this House, in the European Parliament. Tomislav and others are here to thank them for their unwavering support in our efforts to have this meaningful instrument. So we now have unprecedented, historic funds to strengthen our health systems, to ensure greater access to healthcare. And this is something that we should acknowledge collectively and celebrate collectively. But I also understand that this fact comes with its own challenges, especially for smaller grassroots organizations, especially in relation to co-funding, which I know that this is an issue. It is important to stress that the co-funding rates have been set by the co-legislators. So it was not an arbitrary decision, it was part of the legislative process. Yet, we know that this still represents a challenge for many of you, for many of the groups represented here. And these are groups that we need. These are groups that make an important, a crucial contribution to our cancer community. They are the ones who are closest to patients. They give voice to their needs. So we need them with us. And that's why I think the new foundation, Mike, will be instrumental in providing this additional funding that can in turn contribute to providing their expertise as part of the overall cancer plan. But let's be honest, financial support is important, yet it is only one part of the solution. Our collective success will be built on knowledge, experience, expertise. And that's why we at the Commission, we regularly consult with stakeholders on the priorities and needs that these programs are meant to address, on the results achieved, and we have a permanent, fluid process of assessing those. Earlier this month, we organized such a stakeholder event. I was impressed when I was told that we had more than 400 participants, and I think this is important. So the European Cancer Organization will be a vital partner, a crucial partner. It already coordinates, as I'm sure you know, 3 projects under the EU for Health program, supporting interspecialty cancer training, empowering cancer survivors, and promoting vaccination against HPV cancers. So this is yet another moment to thank you specifically for your involvement and for your support. And let me say that the community's experience, networks, commitment to equality will go a long way towards ensuring that the new European Cancer Community Foundation we're launching today is also a resounding success. I have personally no doubt that it will help us improve the levels of all those affected by the disease. And I have no doubt that it will also help us improve access to high-quality care for all, no matter who they are, no matter where they live in Europe, and no matter, regardless of their socioeconomic condition, no matter their age, no matter their background. That's what I like to call the European way of life, the European model of society, what brings us together and what makes us a beacon of light and hope in a very unsafe and uncertain world. Thank you again. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
So you see that board over there. That is something that we're all going to sign later during the networking event. Margaritis was very generous with his time today, and he and Andreas are going to go and sign it first. Guys, if you want to go off, and then we thank Margaritis for being here. ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the European Commission, Margherita Schinas. So this is supposed to be a bit of a photo opportunity, so get your cameras out. And if you haven't noticed the URL for the foundation, EuropeanCancerFoundation.org, there it is on the big screen as well. And you can follow us on Twitter at EURCancerDonate. Thanks very much. Thank you. And the clue is in the handle, EUR Cancer Donate, and you can encourage all of your rich friends and well-connected organisations to go to EuropeanCancerFoundation.org and thank you, and help us with the launch of our foundation. Now, let's move on to something else. Who has heard of the Sea of Change Choir from Ireland? Who's heard of them? Anybody heard of them? Right, yes, there's some people at the back there, some Irish people. Walter knows who they are, which is great. Well, let me tell you a little bit about them. Sea of Change Choir is a group of cancer survivors and supporters, and they won a few years ago, there they are, they won the TV show Ireland's Got Talent, and they have been singing at very important events, including the launch of the consultation, I think it was, of the Beating Cancer Plan. Amazing women. When we contacted them to see if they could help us with the launch of the foundation, they were super generous with their time. They put together an amazing production. They say their biggest ever production. So let's hear from them now. Let's go to Dee Featherstone, who's been instrumental of working with Anna in our team in putting this video together.
Hello from the Sea of Change Choir. We are Ireland's cancer choir. Our choir started at our annual Strip and Dip charity event for childhood cancer. To date, we have raised nearly 1.2 million euros for childhood cancer. With this, we have purchased a respite house for families dealing with cancer. Oh, and by the way, we also have a golden buzzer and we've 2 Guinness World Records in our pockets. The choir are huge supporters of the European Cancer Community Foundation, and we wish you all the best for your launch, and we hope to see you soon. This is our very special song, written by Ollie Cole for the choir. So let's do better together.
It's the knowing, together we can do anything. It's the holding and letting go of everything. It's the fighting
Well, a huge thank you to the Sea of Change Choir. I know that many of the choir are back in Ireland watching us live on YouTube now. It's been an amazing effort and a huge amount of work for all of you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon at one of our events, ladies. And what a powerful expression of your fight against cancer and the support that you give each other. As you can see, I've come down here to the front row, and as you may have seen on our website, Audi has been one of our initial supporters at the European Cancer Community Foundation. Now, there's no car in it for me, is there, Volker? People, okay. So I'm here with two guys who are very interesting who I met recently. One is Waldemar, one is Volker. He's the boss. Let's talk to him second. Waldemar, tell us about you, mate.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, and good evening, everyone. My name is Waldemar Jakunin. I'm 34 years old, and I'm living since 6 years here in Brussels after signing a contract with Audi. I'm originally from South Germany.
And?
Yeah,
What's your
obviously.
story, mate?
So I'm here because I am a cancer patient myself, and my journey started during the Christmas holidays of 2021. I was visiting my family there in my Bavarian hometown when my mother, who happens to be a doctor herself, noticed that I have a persistent cough. So she sent me to her examination at the local clinic, and 2 days later I was diagnosed with thymus carcinoma. It's a rare cancer disease located in my upper part of my chest. So immediately we started the necessary treatment. I received a biopsy, a chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and we planned a surgery in order to remove the tumor from my body. Understanding how important it is to have family support during such a period and doctors that can explain you these complex steps in your native tongue, we try to do it all in Germany. And knowing about the EU directive for cross-border healthcare, we didn't expect it to be an issue. However, it was. We didn't had permission from my insurance in Belgium, and we had to relocate my treatment from Germany to Belgium. Luckily, I found good doctors there immediately, and we could proceed with the therapy and with the surgery just as planned. Unfortunately, I was living there alone and without any supervision. So nevertheless, the operation went well, and I recovered in the following months. After an 8 months break now from work, I even decided to go back to office. The first scans showed promising results, and we had new hope for the future. Sadly, this took a turn only 4 months later, when a follow-up scan showed a reoccurrence of cancer in my lungs. So my life expectation shrink down to less than 10 years from now on. The disease was back in a non-curable form, and we had to continue with another chemotherapy. Immediately, I reached out to several experts across Europe to have a broader perspective of this and a second opinion on the case. Also, on the network of the European Cancer Organization, it helped me a lot here. And after numerous discussions with the experts, more and more experts advised me to see if there's any possibility of undergoing an immunotherapy instead. Unfortunately for the thymus carcinoma, this is not funded yet in Europe. So I had to find a clinical study to participate in. After yet another month of research and some bureaucratic hurdles, we managed to find one at the Gustave Roussy Institute in Paris, this time with the permission of my insurance. So in the beginning of this year, we started finally the second round of therapy under the supervision of Dr. Benjamin Bess and his super competent team. And 6 months later, we have the first encouraging results there. In the next upcoming 18 months, we will continue with this therapy, hoping that we have the same results also in the future, obviously benefiting me as a patient, but also the cancer research for rare cancer diseases.
And you're a young guy, right? And you've got a job at Audi. Pretend he's not here. What's he been like, the boss? How, has he been tough, easy, what?
He can be both. But yeah, I mean, of course, when you receive such a diagnosis, you have to deal with so many things. And I was very happy that the job was never one of the issues I had to deal with. I had from my employer nothing but support over the whole period. It was by just keeping my back free at work when I was absent, granting me job security, or even helping me with local administrations. Because of this, I could even focus on all these tasks that I was encountering. So both Audi Brussels, their management, and the social partners from the union supported me really a lot during this period. I'm very proud of this.
Okay, and Volker, when you heard this news about Waldemar, how did you feel?
You want to hear the truth?
Yeah.
Shit and why? Yeah, I think it's a diagnosis who nobody wants from us, what we learned today from you, 4 million in Europe who gets this diagnosis. And I think it's important to support our people, because the people are the most important thing what is in a factory or at every supplier in the world. No? And the first thing, or after we discussed Waldemar, it was foreseen that he changed in other area from our business, and additional, it was foreseen that he goes the way for a leader in our factory, for training, and we decided, and that was not a long question, it was very short discussion. Let the place free for him. Every time when he come back, he can step on, and the next, let the place free that he will be a leader in the future, and he must fight now his fight against cancer. And I'm also very proud of this, that he said it, that our unions in this case play a very, very good role, because he had a lot of problems. He gets information of the cancer on the wrong place, on the wrong time, because he said he was in Germany, but he's insured here. You can imagine what happens then. We speak from Europe, but there we are one country. And so the unions, they help him in this first a lot. And then when the second diagnosis came for him again, he was working in this time then at Volkswagen. And then it was again some people, where are they? Where are they? Stand up. Not so shy, stand up. Yeah, they help him again. And it was a nice situation. One day before Christmas time, I get the call from this gentleman that we found a place for him in Paris, and that he can go in it. And so I'm very proud. And it's teamwork, how we called it, in the factory. Thank you, guys.
And Volker, I think many people in the room will know stories that are not like this, right? Where employers are not supportive of people who've got cancer and say, well, bad luck kind of thing. What advice would you give to other employers in the same situation who find that one of their team is suffering from cancer?
Yeah, to give your people, because the people are the most important things. Technical things you can buy everywhere. The people are the difference who makes a company. And give your people the support also in hard times like this, cancer, and because it can happen with everybody from us. And I think everybody from us wants, if he got this message, support. And then you don't must wait, just do it, give our people this support. And I hope we can help today with this message also some other people who maybe get today the message you have cancer. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you all agree that's a great message. What's all this about you getting married now? Where's your fiancée?
She's not far from here.
Huh?
She's not far from here, sitting behind us.
Ah, hello. Well, listen, I'm sure we wish Waldemar and Malak, his fiancée, all the best. And I'm sure we all want to thank Audi for their leadership and their example of how to work with cancer patients and their loved ones and in the workplace. We know it's not as common as it should be. And of course, Waldemar, we wish you all the best. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, change of pace. Who likes the Eurovision Song Contest? Hands up. Oh, Matty doesn't. Chaba does. Chaba loves the Eurovision. I'm not surprised about that. Who else likes the Eurovision Song Contest? Oh, we got it. Fedra. I'm not surprised about that. Okay, Reto. I'm surprised about that. Kathy, you like the Eurovision? Do you want to put your mic on and tell us about it? Even at your age, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy it. And I love the Belgian entry. And I thought it was really great. Musically, it was terrific. The presentation was wonderful. And also, it's a very hopeful song. And actually, a bit of a secret, but don't tell anybody. I thought it was so great. I actually got up and danced. And I haven't danced in the 11 years since my son died from a brain tumor. So to me, it was a really meaningful entry.
So Kathy and I were texting each other during the Eurovision Song Contest. I had a glass of rosé, and we were chatting about it. It's nice to see the retro version of the Eurovision logo, which we have to use because the new one is copyright. But Kathy and I, yeah, exactly. So Kathy and I agreed that the Belgian entry for the Eurovision Song Contest was the best, even though Sweden won. And so what we did was we contacted Gustav, and there he is, and said we were starting a foundation, and he's given us this short video. Over to Gustav's video.
Hi, my name is Gustav. I represented Belgium at the Eurovision Song Contest, and I was very proud to represent Belgium. I'm also very proud to be here today. Cancer touches all of our lives, unfortunately, and therefore I'm very happy to be part of the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. I dedicate this song to the mission of the foundation and to everyone out there who is struggling. And when the world got me going crazy, I carry on, 'cause I know I'm strong. When the world got me going crazy, I carry on, and it's all because of you. I'll carry on, despite of the things they said and done. They'll never kill this fire. Your love will take me higher. It's all because of you. And when the world got me going crazy, I carry on, 'cause I know I'm strong. When the world got me going crazy, I carry on, and it's all because of you. Let's do better together.
And Kathy, she has promised that she'll dance again in the networking event, so we're looking forward to that. Now, we know that we've got a lot of people watching us live on YouTube across Europe right now. But there's someone who knows YouTube a lot better than I do, and than all of you do, It's Matthew Santoro, who we contacted a few weeks ago. Matthew's from Canada. He's a YouTuber. Let's see if you understand any of this. He's a YouTuber. He's a Twitch streamer and creator. And he told me that he raises money for charity on a monthly basis. So we're looking forward to hearing more about that. He's come specially from Canada to Brussels to be here for the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome YouTube sensation Matthew Santoro.
Hi, Mike. Thank you for that introduction. So first off, I just want to give a big thanks to the European Cancer Community Foundation. I'm very grateful to be here. It's my first time here in Brussels. It's a lovely place. I've eaten more chocolate in the last 48 hours than I probably will all year. It was lovely. Yeah, Mike, Eric, Julie, the whole board, Anna, just everybody for this opportunity. Yeah, so my name is Matthew Santoro. I've been a full-time YouTuber for 7 years. I've been making videos since 2010. If you recall, back in 2010, it was very weird to put yourself on the internet, if you guys remember that. And I think that's how I gained my following, was I was one of the first weirdos to do that. I actually have a background in accounting, which is probably not something anyone would guess. I have a Master of Accountancy degree. And now I make funny videos on the internet. So life can change very quickly. But speaking to that, life can also change very quickly in a negative way. And I myself have had members of my own family who have been affected by cancer, survived, and some that haven't. So this is an initiative that's very close to my heart, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. As Mike mentioned, this year in particular, in previous years, I've raised money for various charities, but this year in particular, I really took stock of life and thought, you know, I've been very blessed in my life, and I want to start making charity a bigger part of my brand in what I do on the internet. This year, we've raised tens of thousands of dollars for various charities, such as the Canadian Cancer Society, the Breast Cancer Research Foundation in the United States, and now I'm proud to say this foundation is a part of that journey. So when I get home, I'll be making videos and such, promoting, donating to the organization, the foundation. And like I said, it's just an honor and a privilege to be a part of this. You know, a lot of what we've talked about today has been very inspiring. You're absolutely going to beat it, so I'll be praying for you. And, you know, the ladies that we heard from earlier, and it's just, you know, it's very inspiring to hear these things. And yeah, really just, like I said, I'm very proud to be a part of it. And I can't wait to get home and help add Europe, this beautiful place, to my collection of things that I work with already. So.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Matthew's going to be... There are all the ways you can follow Matthew. You've got how many followers? Is it 6 million or something? Yeah, 6 million. So a few more than Mark Lawler. That's true. But yeah, thanks for your support, Matthew. It's been really great, and I'm sure many of you are looking forward to meeting Matthew in the networking reception. So, look, we couldn't have done this launch inside the European Parliament without the support of Tomislav Sokol, MEP. As you know, Tomislav is one of the leading MEPs working on cancer and health generally, strong supporter of the European Cancer Community, and a member of our national and European Parliamentarians for Cancer Action Group. So listen, Tomislav and your right-hand man, Philip, we really appreciate everything you've done to make today happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Tomislav Sokol, MEP.
Thank you, Mike. Even though you didn't give me any favor, because it will be very hard to be as interesting as people who spoke before me, right? So because I'm a politician, so it's kind of, in terms of being interested, it goes downhill from now on. No, I'm kidding, but really thank you very much for being here. This is a very important event. Also, it's been great to have Margaritis here, because this also shows that we can all work together. So all the institutions, the Commission, the Parliament, and everybody else, and that this is really a common project which transcends national borders, party lines, and things like that. So I think this is the first message, which is very important. I think the second key point that I wanted to make, which Margaritis already did, is that health has become an EU priority, and this, of course, Europe's Beating Cancer Plan as one of the flagships, maybe even the most important one. So this has not been the case before. So before COVID, before Europe's Beating Cancer Plan, health was always a marginal topic in the Brussels bubble. But now the situation has completely reversed. What is important is that we keep the momentum going, so that we do not focus other issues completely, but that this health issue, beating cancer, but other health issues as well, remain as one of the most important European policies. On the budget, what was mentioned, yes, Margaritis mentioned that now we have 5.3 billion. That's 12 times more than in the previous budgetary period. But we wanted more, actually. European Parliament wanted 9.3 billion. But it was the member states, the council, who in the end stopped us or prevented us from going so far, and then they reduced it to 5.3. But still, it's an enormous achievement. It's an enormous improvement when compared to what we had before. So the most important initiatives that have already been started, which is a good thing, because this shows us that Europe's Beating Cancer Plan has not been just a plan, strategy. We have tons of strategies which are not implemented, but that it's really being implemented. So we have all the rules on prevention and the changes that Commission will introduce. We have the new investments into screening, the screening recommendations. We have the cancer inequalities registry, which I think has not been mentioned so far, but this is very important. So because if you want to make policy decisions across Europe, we have to see and know the situation. So we need to have comparable data and see in which country situation is worse, in which country situation is better, what are the underlying causes for this, and what we have to do to improve the situation. And of course, on the right to be forgotten, Margaritis mentioned the code of conduct, but we have also done something on the legislative level. So I'm glad, and I was the shadow rapporteur for the Consumer Credit Directive. We managed to include the right to be forgotten in this directive, and this was actually my proposal, a proposal of my political group, and we were able to get the final compromise. So now right to be forgotten will become part of the next Consumer Credit Directive, which will definitely help patients that they are not discriminated against in terms of getting consumer credit, which I think is a very practical achievement that we were able to make along the lines of the Europe's Beating Cancer Plan. So what do we need to do in the future? So as I already said, keep the momentum going, keep the focus, keep the interest of the community, of the political institutions, of the media. And what is very important is that we have initiatives like this. Major issue which remains to be resolved is the inequalities. So if you have 20 or 25 or even 30% bigger chances of dying from cancer if you live in country A compared to country B, that means that Europe still has a long way to go. And this problem cannot be resolved by member states themselves. They need European help. And I think that EU can do a lot in terms of funding, in terms of better helping member states organize the system in a better way, but definitely this help is needed. Also health workforce. We have a problem of health workforce, especially in Eastern Europe. We have a lack of doctors, we have a lack of nurses, and Europe needs to step in more thoroughly and more strongly so that this problem is resolved. Also cross-border care, so actually this was the topic of my PhD at K11, so this is an important topic for me, and yes, we need a reform of this legislation. We put the call for this in the Beating Cancer Committee special report, the BECA committee, where we said, because this piece of legislation is very complicated. It's not just the directive, it's also the Social Security Coordination Regulation. And if you want to know what your rights are, you need to be an expert in European health law. and not a lot of people are. So we definitely need much clearer rules, especially on reimbursement, on prior authorization. We need to strengthen the role of the European reference networks. But the crucial thing is also that the one thing that we advocated also in the European Parliament in the Becker report, the so-called right to second opinion. That you don't, that it's not one expert in one member state who tells you that better treatment is available at home, or that foreign treatment is not recognized or something like that, but you actually get the best expert advice from all over Europe, and then on basis of this you make that the final decision is made. So, or in other words, that we don't look what is the best available treatment in one country, but that we really look throughout Europe, because many treatments are available in, let's say, Germany, but not in Bulgaria or Croatia, and definitely we need to look European Union as a whole. So we need much clearer rules, much more transparent rules. We need clearer and stronger and better procedures to implement this right. And of course, we need this overall European approach, taking into account what is best available treatment anywhere in the EU. So we'll have to work on that. We'll have to streamline and make these rules much better. But this is something that the European Parliament definitely wants. And to sum up, so I think these events are very important. As Margaritis and the others said, we need to work together. I think also it's important to include not to base everything only on the public initiative, public institutions. We also need private initiatives. We need collaboration from all stakeholders. And I think that initiatives like this, like European Cancer Community Foundation, are the best possible tool how to achieve that. So that we really will all work together, so that we are not in boxes, but that really both the public institutions, the donors, the organizations like the ECO really can do a lot if they all work together. So thank you very much again for being with us. I didn't expect such a big number, I have to say, because it's Thursday afternoon, but this really shows how important this topic is and how broad support we have for fighting cancer, and will continue to do so. And what is crucial is that we all do this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tomislav. Well, we've heard from a few cancer patients, cancer survivors already today, and I guess facing cancer in any circumstances is terrible, but facing cancer in the circumstances of war is a completely different story. And we are humbled to be joined by Anna Uzlova, who leads with her colleague Inessa the Inspiration Family Ukrainian patient organization, cancer patient organization, based in Kyiv. And Anna's come here to share with us the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. We've been working closely with Inspiration Family since the start of the war, ECO, but also many patient organizations, many other organizations working collaboratively. The work that Anna and her team did in evacuating cancer patients in the early weeks and months of the war was incredible, including to neighboring countries, including to the west of Ukraine, to safety. And it shows the power of the community when you have that kind of situation in a war. I think we all saw that during the immediate aftermath to the when the war started in Ukraine. So let's hear, ladies and gentlemen, from the leader of the Inspiration Family Patient Organization in Ukraine, Anna Uzlova.
Thank you, Mike, for introducing me and for Ukrainian flag on the monitor. Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, first of all, using this opportunity of being in European Parliament, I would like to thank you all, European cancer community, for the huge support you provide to our cancer patients during this time, since the war started. Our charity foundation, Inspiration Family, was established in September 2020 in Kyiv, and we support adult cancer patients. So since this time, we have been working as patient advocates, representing their voice in different government institutions and defending their rights to worthy treatment, because all co-founders of our foundation know what it means to be a cancer patient, because we all are cancer survivors. The full-scale version that was launched in 2022 created big challenges for Ukrainian patients and for our healthcare system. In order to survive in such a situation, it is extremely important to have support, and such support was provided by European cancer community. It was very quick, timely, and necessary reaction that saved a lot of lives. After almost a year and a half of the war, we can see how important it is to develop collaboration and relationships. Every time together we try to find some solutions and way to improve the situation with treatment for those patients who are being treated in Ukraine, for those who displaced across Europe. And now working together, join our efforts, we in Ukraine feel like part of European cancer community, because actually Ukraine is Europe mentally and geographically. So we are looking forward to participate in a new project with European Cancer Community Foundation, which I'm sure will improve access to treatment for all patients. So often we compare fighting with cancer to fighting war. In order to win in this battle, we need strategic thinking, motivation, strong motivation, and of course we need weapons. And now we all know that weapons, it is not only a gun, but also information, collaboration, and of course partnerships. So no doubt that this new foundation become another reliable weapon against cancer. So we believe that Ukraine will win. We believe in our victory. We believe in our future. And we, of course, believe that cancer will be curable, because we are not alone in this battle. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anna. Great to have you with us. Now let's hear from another one of our corporate supporters, our friends at Ton Hotels, who are supporting the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation. Nils Helger is over there, I believe. Nils?
Sorry. Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. It's a very important day today. It's the launch of the European Cancer Association, and it's a very important day also for our company. Today, on this very day, our owner and founder, and still very active in our business, Mr. Olav Thon, is celebrating his 100th birthday. Mr. Thon decided 10 years ago to create his own foundation. He transferred assets of a value of 2.5 billion euros into this foundation, making it the second biggest foundation registered in Norway. This foundation hands out up to 10 million euros on an annual basis to different organizations and different causes. And one important pillar, of course, in this foundation is medical research. Cancer somehow affects us all directly and indirectly. We are a hotel company, and you will probably ask, what can a hotel company do on this? Well, we have more than 500 or 500,000 guests passing through our hotels here in Brussels and in Rotterdam on an annual basis, or passing through our beds, I would say. And we would like to give our guests a possibility to make a difference. We give every guest staying for more than one night in one of our hotels the opportunity to choose if they would like to have their rooms cleaned or not. And if they choose to have it cleaned, the guests can choose between 3 different charities or non-profit organizations, which Thon Hotels will support with €5. So you make the math yourself, 500,000 times 5 could create some money. We are therefore very happy that we now can start a collaboration with the European Cancer Association as one of the preferred charities or non-profit organizations. And we think that this organization is something which our guests will support. Certainly, probably, cancer is something which concerns also them. So we wish the European Cancer Organization a lot of success on the very important work you are doing. And I both hope and think that Thon Hotels, and most importantly, our guests, can be good partners with you in the future. So once again, thank you for the collaboration, or thank you for letting us collaborating with you, and all the best and good luck.
Thanks very much indeed, Niels. We'll be staying at lots of Thon Hotel nights for ECO trips at least, for sure. Now let's hear from our Patient Advisory Committee. Kathy Oliver is one of the co-chairs of that. And of course, one of the funding inequalities that we've seen over many years is with patient organisations and organisations for caregivers as well. Kathy.
Thank you very much, Mike. As well as being the ECO co-chair of the Patient Advisory Committee, I'm also the chair and founding co-director of the International Brain Tumor Alliance. I am not a doctor and I'm not a politician, but I used to be a freelance journalist until 2004, when I was catapulted from being a wife, a mother, and a journalist to something I never thought would enter my life. I became a cancer patient advocate because my then 24-year-old son, Colin, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And we were sitting in a tiny room in a London hospital when news of Colin's brain tumor was given to us. But to be perfectly honest, we felt like we were sitting on a planet in outer space. We felt like travelers in some kind of strange world and surreal world. We didn't speak the language of medicine. We didn't know how to get from A to B. We had no map, no compass, no anchor to steady us on this totally unexpected journey. But I think most of all, we were filled with fear and dread of the unknown road ahead. So we turned to a brain tumor patient organization. And I can truly say that the information, the support, and the encouragement that that organization gave us was utterly crucial in not only our son Colin's survival, but the survival of the whole family, because cancer is a family disease, and particularly in brain tumors where the caregivers and the family have to be so supportive. But patient organizations don't only provide information and support to cancer patients. We can help plug the gaps in healthcare services. We promote the importance of clinical trials and actively contribute, actually, to their design and their implementation. We engage with policymakers at the European Commission on vital matters such as the Europe's Beating Cancer Plan, survivorship, health inequalities, and health literacy. And of course, we are also advisors to crucial entities like the European Cancer Organization and national and international medical societies. We also participate as patient advocates in the work of regulatory and reimbursement agencies. And we do all of this so that the patient perspective is strongly heard and the patient voice is always there and integrated into every facet of the cancer journey. And we also regularly collaborate with other site-specific cancer organizations, especially patient organizations and those who are member of the ECO Patient Advisory Committee. Because we know that by working together collaboratively as one voice, we can achieve so much more than if we worked as individual organizations. And Anna Uzlova has spoken to you very movingly about what it's like to live in a war-torn country and at the same time fight cancer. I mean, I cannot imagine what it's like to be in a country at war and be diagnosed with cancer or have to continue your cancer treatment. And we're really proud to be working with Inspiration Family, Anna. I think we as patient organizations can react very quickly to crises like the war in Ukraine. We're knowledgeable, we're efficient, and most of all, we are strongly networked. We use our established communication channels to great effect, and this has been repeatedly demonstrated during the war in Ukraine. And our advocacy work will continue during the war and during this tragedy and beyond. But many of our patient organizations do everything I've told you about on an incredibly tight budget. We do what we do with courage and commitment, but all of this, of course, takes resources. And quite frankly, sometimes we exist from year to year, literally on a wing and a prayer. So we hope, Mike, Andreas, that this new groundbreaking foundation, the European Cancer Community Foundation, will not only help to support crucial patient organization projects across Europe in times of war and in times of peace, but that the foundation will bring new, renewed hope to the communities of European cancer patients, their families, and their loved ones, who we as patient organizations represent. So we wish you all the very best for a successful launch today, and of course, many, many years of a successful foundation. And thank you very much for allowing me to say how proud I am to be a part of that.
Thanks very much, Kathy. We're coming towards the end of our interventions, but we do want to hear a global perspective. And our friend Andre Ilbawi from the World Health Organization was kind enough to come and join us to support the launch. Andre?
Thanks, Mike. And what a privilege to be here. Excellencies, colleagues, friends, let's start with the harsh reality. Cancer is an intensely personal and a brutal disease. Every family, as we've heard today, will in some way be touched by cancer. It evokes the strongest collective responses and brings the best out of the joint human efforts. But in the past 2 decades, we've seen cancer take a turn for the worst. It is now a disease that divides us. We see that the history of solidarity has now made way to inequalities. We see ingenuity is measured not by how many people can access a product, but by whether or not the products are on the market for a few. Ladies and gentlemen, these trends are worrisome, and we see it every day. Solidarity that we've heard that is so powerful in the European Union is absent in so many places around the world and is threatening the very way of life that we've heard. It is scary to think that in Europe, the likelihood of surviving a cancer diagnosis is dependent on the educational level of the person who has the disease. What does that say about the systems we've created? What a frightening thought. These systems have become so complex, so disorienting, that it is difficult for people to navigate them. In the first year after a cancer diagnosis, a patient will see 30 providers, tell the story again, build a relationship, and then see a new provider and have to tell the story again. That complexity is dehumanizing. That complexity is disorienting. But that is the reality for the large percentages of people who are diagnosed with cancer globally. They are simply not able to access the care that they deserve. These are complex times. Our shared institutions that are designed to bring us together are now mired by inequalities and divisions. But let's also celebrate. The EU has a magical moment. There has been no ambition like the EU Beating Cancer Plan. It is a generational opportunity. Yes, we will define success as to whether or not survival will improve. But really, the opportunities to define success will be determined by communities. Communities that will be and should be more supported and that should be more engaged. With the launch of the European Cancer Community Foundation, Cancer in Europe has a new grounding in solidarity. Together we stand in support for the countless cancer advocates in the region, but most importantly, those that are acting locally. And this provides them a platform for change to be stronger in their communities. With the European Cancer Community Foundation, we also have an opportunity to reorient care, to be present for families during the most difficult times in their lives, to empower health professionals, and to create a platform for social change. This is the moment for global solidarity. At WHO, we stand ready to work with you, to work with partners around the table to implement, to innovate, and to be present for people everywhere. When we succeed, millions will benefit, and we will leave behind a generational legacy that will define the era that we live in. Thank you to each of you for the work that you do. Thank you for the service that each of you provide. We know many of you have done work without being supported. Volunteer time to be present when someone is diagnosed with cancer and needs a hand to hold. We stand with you, and we will change the chapter of cancer with this new beginning. Thank you again.
Thanks very much, Andre. Well, when we were putting this event together, we were overwhelmed by the support that we had from the whole of the oncology community. Anna mentioned about how strong the community's been in difficult times recently. And not everybody's great at making a video, but lots of people gave it a go. You might even spot some famous people or some well-known people or semi-famous people, whatever you want to call them, in this little montage. We want to, while that is playing, we want to thank Tomislav for hosting us today. And I know you're going to sign the board with Andreas, but let's have a look at this video from all corners of the European cancer community.
Hi, I'm Fran Drescher, and I'm here in support of the European Cancer Community Foundation. Let's do it better together.
Europe wants to beat cancer. Let's do better together.
Faisons mieux ensemble.
Let's do better together.
Давайте зробимо краще разом.
This foundation has incredible potential to help those affected by cancer, regardless of who they are or how much they have on their bank account.
Let's do better together.
Let's do better together.
Samen zijn we sterk.
Hello everyone. Now more than ever, it is of the utmost importance to unite politicians and the scientific community in this common battle against cancer, and I stand here as your ally in this journey. Let's do better together.
Let's do it better together.
Zajedno možemo poveć.
Let's do better together.
Juntos lo haremos mejor.
Zajedno zaista možemo bolje.
This new foundation can help organizations working towards eliminating HPV cancer across Europe.
Let's do better together.
Our foundation is rooted in multi-professionalism. We will support projects and initiatives that will benefit patients with cancer or cancer survivors.
Let's do better together.
Lass uns gemeinsam besser machen.
Together we are going to do it better.
In disease as cancer, there shouldn't be borders. This foundation is vital in bringing together equity, inclusiveness, and all the opportunities which will make significant difference to cancer care with current and future projects.
Laten we het samen beter doen.
Let's do better together.
Faisons mieux ensemble.
Europe wants to beat cancer. Let's do better together.
Let's do better together.
Let's do better together.
Please allocate your resources towards the foundation like I did.
Let's do better together.
Andreas, would you like to close?
Thanks, Mike. It's really overwhelming what we are experiencing today in the launch of our foundation. I would like to thank Tomislav and Vice President Skinas for their support, all of you who made the journey to be here. I would also like to thank the people behind the scenes, the ECO team, who puts everything together, Mike, for moderating, and for closing this launch. what we have done here today is that we really opened our hearts. We shared our vision and dream in terms of the foundation. So let it be that you become the ambassadors of this foundation across Europe. Let's walk this journey together, doing better together and doing more together. Because together we can and we will. Thank you.